The communist government of Vietnam decided to fix the world, tikkun olam, and make it correspond with the incentives that people have. And we have the same phenomenon with the Pusbul. Hillel hitken Pusbul mipnei tikkun olam. Hillel ordained the Pusbul to fix the world. Well, we know what the Pusbul is. The Pusbul, the Torah says that in the 7th year, in the Shemitah, we do not harvest the agricultural products, and we also cancel all loans. All loans are cancelled. On Erev Rosh Hashanah, in the year of the Shemitah, in other words, the Erev of the Rosh Hashanah, the 8th year, all loans are cancelled. And the Torah, the Torah foresaw what was going to happen over there. The Torah says specifically, hey, you got to watch out in not to close your hands, not to say, I'm not going to lend people money because the loan will be cancelled. I'm not going to lend them money during the 7th year or the 6th year, maybe even in the 5th year, because the loan will be cancelled. You shouldn't do that. You should ignore that. You should think of your fellow man. You should think of the common good. You should be a socialist. It's din Torah to be a socialist. Yeah. You shouldn't do that. Now Hillel saw that it's written in the Torah that you shouldn't do it, but they did it. That's what the Gemara says. זה אחד מן הדברים שהתקין הלל הזקן, שהאורס העם שנמנעו מלהלוות זה את זה. In spite, and the Gemara brings the specific pasuk, yes? Hishama lacho pen yeyeh lebavcho davar blial, yes? A wicked thing, yes? You should be careful that lest there be in your heart this wicked idea not to lend people money. But they didn't do it. Yeah. They didn't do it. The economic people became poor in the 5th and the 6th year. In the 7th year, the economy slowed down. Okay, we had the kind of crisis that we're having now because you can say it again and again. But people did it. So Hillel, that is one of the rules that Hillel the elder ordained. He saw that the people refrained from lending each other money, so he ordained the Pusbul. What does the Pusbul do? It's a piece of paper. There's a certain magic formula written on the piece of paper. What it says essentially is, Torah, very nice. It doesn't work, we're abrogating it. That's what Hillel said, okay? So that's what happened. And that is the basic idea of economics is incentives. Let's go on to the next item. Price control and competition. Okay? And this is the story of the unicorn that occurs in Baba Basra. A little bit of introduction. This is a beautiful 2 or 3 psukim in 3 psukim in Devarim at the end of Kitetse. It's beautiful. The way I wrote it is in the form of poetry, and it really is poetry. It really is. It has this quality of poetry. Lo yeh lecha b'keischa even va'aven gdola u'ktana. Lo yeh lecha b'veitcha efa ve'efa gdola u'ktana. אבן שלמה והצדק יהיה לך, איפה שלמה והצדק יהיה לך, למען יאריכו ימיך על האדמה אשר השם אלוהיך נותן לך. Okay? I'll translate it. I try to maintain this poetic rhythm. And it's not only the rhythm that's poetry, it's also the content. It's beautiful, beautifully phrased. Thou shalt not have in thy bag a weight and a weight, large and small. Thou shalt not have in thy house a measure and a measure, large and small. True and just weights shall you have, true and just measures shall you have, so that your days may be long on the land that Hashem your Lord gives you. And now we pass to the Gemara in Bava Batra, Tetet Amud Aleph. I'll read it first in the original Gemara Lashon, and then I'll translate it. Yeh lecha, melamed shema'amidin agardamin lemidot, ve'en ma'amidin agardamin lesharim. דבין עשייה הקימו הגרדמין בין למידות בין לשערים. אמר לשמואל לקרנה, פוק תני להו, מעמידין הגרדמין למידות, ואין מעמידין הגרדמין לשערים. נפק, דרש להו, מעמידין הגרדמין בין למידות בין לשערים. אמר לי, מה שמך? קרנה? תפוק לי קרנה בעיני. נפקא לי קרנה בעיני. And here's the translation. Shall you have, yeh lecha, shall you have, true and just measures shall you have, true and just weights shall you have. This teaches us that inspectors should be appointed for weights and measures, but not for prices. Because the verse that we read from Deuteronomy, from Dvarim, refers to weights and measures only, does not refer to prices. So this teaches us that inspectors should be appointed for weights and measures, inspectors that go around in the market and check the weights and measures of the merchants, but they should not be appointed for prices. So now the Gemara tells us that the governor's office appointed inspectors both for weights and measures and for prices, contrary to the rule that had been promulgated by the Gemara. So Shmuel said to Horn was the name of an associate of his, a student, somebody who was working, an assistant of Shmuel. I don't know whether he appears elsewhere in the Talmud. Anyway, that's what he's called, Mr. Horn. So Shmuel said to Horn, go, tell them that inspectors should be appointed for weights and measures, but not for prices. You're doing the wrong thing. The governor's office is doing the wrong thing. He went and told them inspectors should be appointed both for weights and measures and for prices. He contravened what Shmuel told him. When Shmuel heard about this, he said to him, what's your name? Horn? May a horn grow between your eyes. Forthwith, a horn grew between his eyes. Yes. That's the story of Mr. Horn, of the unicorn. Shmuel was very, very angry. He was very angry that that the governor's office had instituted price control, and that Horn had given the approval, indirect approval of Shmuel to this. Very